of the summer seasonals, which I'll be talking about a little bit, but the overall recap of the summer 2020 season was that it was pretty garbage across the board. These are the series that I had the privilege of completing within these past 30 days. As always, timestamps for each of them, with minor spoilers as I will be talking about what I found to be interesting. So this is your only warning. Like last month, I'll highlight one series that resonated with me the most and then work from the most liked to the least liked. If you want more regular updates of what I'm watching, friend me on my anime list or any list, as well as check out my live tweets on Twitter in the description below. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this sort of stuff. Now, let's begin. Hyouka is a mystery series that is centered around Hodoro Horeki, energy consumption ways, and Chitanda Eru's curiosity. This series has been on my radar for a long time because I would watch random videos by replay values, and I'm so glad that I actually finally got to fully watch it. I had a very unique experience that I hadn't had before with a series like this. So Replay Value has a full playlist on his channel called A Rose-Colored Dissection for Hyouka, where almost every episode, including the OP, the ED, as well as the OVA, are analyzed with no future spoilers, so I could watch an episode and then watch his analysis right after to take in all the beautiful shot compositions and the different ways that Koyani, the studio, used the anime medium to heighten the storytelling for Hyouka, as Hyouka's content itself is something pretty mundane about solving the simple mysteries of life with almost no high stakes, and that's okay because it was very engaging and refreshing to see. So his playlist will be in the description down below, and I'll definitely try to emulate that same energy he took the time and care for those videos for a series that I'm fond of, hopefully by the end of this year, so look out for it. I love the way that Horeki embraces this energy conservationist approach to life with his motto, "If I don't have to do it, I won't. If I have to do it, I'll make it quick." This is not necessarily taken as a lazy person because we see how much effort it takes to live in his gray world and to stand firm to his motto and core beliefs, especially when Chitanda, someone who fixates and gets curious over the smallest things, pulls him into solving these mysteries for both his and her sake. The progression of Horeki challenging the rose-colored life, that it isn't something he wants, or maybe he does want it, but doesn't know how to communicate it, as we tackle the deep-rooted insecurity of "am I special?" throughout the series. After the first half, we see Horeki even more grounded in his gray-colored life, even though we see the changes in him for wanting more and experiencing the frustration and anticipation for making that leap, as it was beautifully showcased by the studio. My favorite two arcs were the movie mystery and the culture festival, for two vastly separate reasons. The movie mystery challenged Horeki's self-worth and if his analytics even actually solve anything, while the culture festival sets this type of energy and buzz for what it is to be expected by high schoolers, getting to show off their clubs and experience that at school. And boy, was it delivered. The atmosphere was unmatched to any other culture festival that I've witnessed in anime. What's amazing is that the first Hyouka's mystery itself sets the expectations and parameters for the culture festival, and when we finally get to it, it explodes past those expectations. I've been thinking about the series nonstop since I finished this at the beginning of this month, and the initial 8.5 score rose up to a 9. I highly recommend the show, as you can couple it with the Dissection series to see someone point out all the love and attention to detail that drives the character moments home. I can definitely see myself rising this even higher, maybe even a 10 with a rewatch next year. So I finished my rewatch of Steins Gate with my IRL friend, and I still have it as a 10. After watching both the OVAs and movies for Steins Gate and Tatami Galaxy, which I covered mainly last month, I can clearly say that Tatami Galaxy is my number one anime as of right now, with Steins Gate at my number 2. The creativity and execution in only 11 episodes to tell a compelling story that resonates so heavily with me, and also it's time, you know I love my time series, is why Steins Gate had been my number 1 for years now, and it's finally been dethroned. I still love Okabe Rintaro, and Kurisu is my best girl of all time, and that will never change, but yeah. I think the movie for Steins Gate was stronger than the Life is Short Walk On Girl movie because I was more invested in the characters of the deja vu story in the movie, but especially how it puts us in the perspective of Kurisu experiencing the loneliness that Okabe faces with the time leaps. We'll definitely be rewatching both of these series when I go on my time arc, as I want to be able to say that I've experienced and watched every single time related show that's out there in the anime medium. But that will come after I finish my 100 anime series, so we got some time. So Re:Zero Season 2 Part 1 just finished today, a couple of hours ago, and it was fantastic. Subaru's flashback was, I believe that was in episode 4 of the Season 2, was masterful, and the first half of the series carried with its confusing plot as it threads for the longest arc of the series thus far continues to unwind in the beauty of it all with the return by death. We got so many answers as well as new questions, and still at the same exact starting point at the beginning of the season. The character models were weak, and at one point I had it at a 10, but the production quality was nothing like Season 1. I saw some old shots from Season 1 and really felt the difference in how it's not as refined as it used to be. But the actual story itself is so intriguing with the inclusion and the variety of all the different witches at play, and their influence not only on Subaru, but also on the world as a whole. I'll wait to see how the second half of Season 2, which will air in 2021, but the show has easily carried the summer season for me. 9.5 out of 10. I like Great Pretender a lot. It had a little unorthodox release schedule since it was with Netflix, so 14 episodes are out currently if you live in the US with English subs on Netflix, but on, I believe it was the 20th of September, on Japan's Netflix, the rest of the season dropped, so I watched through all of it. The series is broken into 4 cases, and it's about con artists, where 3 of the cases happen within the first half, or the first 14 episodes, and the last case encompasses from episode 15 to 23. The colors. Wow, the colors are fantastic. With this bold color palette that accents the over-the-top schemes, I really enjoy the character designs. Like the way the characters just smile just kind of made me happy. And edamame is a pretty cool take on the con man genre, and I love me a good heist/lie story. Definitely peep the 14 episodes that are out so far, as the IRLs who I've gotten onto the show definitely enjoyed it, and I'm sure within a couple months the rest of them will drop if you're waiting for everything to appear on Netflix itself. 8.5 out of 10, and I will definitely be trying to make a mosaic for this series, so follow my Twitter for it. My first film, directed by Satoshi Kon, Perfect Blue, was really great. Aired in 1998, and it still holds up to the level of care that was used to deliver the themes of the film. There's a YouTube version of this film that's split into 2 parts. If you look hard enough, I'm sure you can find it. What really made me appreciate this movie a lot, outside of the confusion and the artistic direction, was this video, which I'll link in the description below, on how Perfect Blue uses the color red to further drive the points of the film as well as provide visual foreshadowing. The irony of using red as its harbinger of pain and death for a title like Perfect Blue is good, and the issues of personal space and mental health can still be highly relevant today. 8 out of 10. I definitely need to rewatch it to further understand what actually happened. Yeah. So for the rest of these, I will be lumping them all together because they were just horrible. And only quick points as, I did not enjoy watching these shows. And the argument of, you should just drop it if you don't enjoy it, gets thrown around, but what I do is I learn from these shows that I don't enjoy, and by completing them, it makes me appreciate how much my 10s are, and even just appreciate, to be honest, the 5+ shows that I have. Also, I'm a completionist, of course, so I'll try to finish it just to say that I have. So the scores that I have is Balance Unlimited, or I think it's $1 Million Detective. Balance Unlimited is a 4.5. Deca-Dence is a 2.5. Rent-A-Girlfriend and God of High School are both a 2 out of 10. I would like to point out that this was my biggest anime season where I watched a lot of seasonals. I definitely have completely different experiences between weeklies and binges, so these scores could fluctuate, and all my scores kind of change because they're all relative to what I find interesting and hold to a high degree. The Millionaire Detective exploded on the timeline on Twitter in around, I think it was March, because Kanbei was hot, and I thought it looked pretty good, so I watched it before it went on break after episode 2 because of the virus, and when it aired again at the end of July, I didn't really care too much about it. And while the story did shift from episodic to an actual arc, I didn't care much, if at all, for it, with the ending episode just crammed for completion. Deca-Dence had an unfortunate combination of everything that I don't enjoy in anime. Big CG mech versus big CG monster. The twist that happens early was interesting for a second before I couldn't care less about the characters. The only thing that kept me going was Natsume. Loved her. The Rent-A-Girlfriend main character was such an annoying little turd. With the ED it was literally a euphemism for him jerking off. With such creativity, right? No. Chizuru is goated, and I wish the best for her, which is not to fall for Kazuya or whatever his name is. I couldn't care less. And the other girls didn't really do too much that I found enjoyable. Got a high school. Well, you know my channel. If you know my channel, I do chapter reviews for Tower God, or did. It's on hiatus right now. So I am open to the webtoon medium, but like the adaptations have been going so far, they're pretty bad because of their choppy execution that makes it feel so clustered and not enjoyable. I lowered my score for Tower God actually, down to a 4 because of how much more I wanted from it. Yeah. And I'm not particularly excited for Noblesse, but you know, I will show my support by at least watching it. I am excited for Jujutsu Kaisen for the fall, as well as Haiku, the second half of season 4, super hyped for that. And you'll probably get my thoughts on that after it completes in December. So I'll use this fall time in general to work through second seasons of shows where I've only watched the first one. So my number completed won't actually update too fast, but I will have a lot more complete experience for the shows on my list. At the moment, I have completed 74 out of 100. So I made some really good progress this summer. I'm impressed with myself. Well, that's all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, comments, feedback. I'll talk to you in about a month. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this sort of stuff. My social media can be found by searching Inspirational on Twitter and Twitch. Shout out to my designer. You can find his work on Instagram at @JadenV_photography. See you all next time.